Welcome, and we are back. This is Chat with Gunner. I am Gunner. That is Ethan. Can't see Ethan. He'll throw the camera. There is Ethan.
There's me.
We have been out for a few weeks. It's been a very busy holiday season between personal life, between work, between both of us getting on the same page. But we're in studio today. We're going to try to knock out a very crisp Chat with Gunner, 60 minutes. And we're going to try to keep doing that as much as possible. But until then, let's kind of jump into it. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Thanks for doing what you do. We doing a little recap, a little catch up here. So it was Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Sorry we didn't do a Christmas show. It was, I guess Christmas Eve was that Thursday. So just a very busy time. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you enjoyed opening your presents, coming down, seeing that the fat man dropped all the presents off at the Christmas tree. We didn't have, Marcus on Christmas Day this year. He was with his dad and that side of the family out in New Mexico. So we celebrated on the 26th, which was Sunday, but still had a blast. We did like my family stuff on New Year's Eve like we usually do, but 25th for the little guy, and he was spoiled, to say the least. It was the theme of Christmas this year was WWE and Ghostbusters. And he got all of it. So, and like Christmas for me, like I didn't even want anything this year. All I wanted to do was just like give him things. Like that's what I enjoy for Christmas now is just giving gifts when I can. What else? So Christmas, we got New Year's coming up. That'll be this weekend, as in like tomorrow.
Tomorrow is
night.
Christmas. Not Christmas Eve. New York, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve tomorrow night. My plans for that Saturday, as part of the Christmas present for Marcus, one of them. Speaking of WWE, I got him tickets to go watch the WWE pay-per-view at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta.
Ooh.
Main event, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Two of his favorites. Got pretty good seats there, so he's jacked up about that.
That's hard to beat. That's a pretty good main event.
I think so. And I wasn't going to go until they announced the match, which was only about 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I guess we got to get tickets now. So we're doing that, and we'll be back that night, not really doing the whole party thing anymore.
I don't know. It's not even the pandemic. The 2 years before COVID, we didn't really do anything anyway.
Yeah, I don't. Not much. Listen, I just don't like feeling hungover anymore. It's not fun for me. I'm 30 now, about to be 31 in February. Just the hangover, just not my thing. I just don't feel good. I barely feel good anyways getting up. So the last thing I needed is alcohol in my system to lag me down. So the reason why we haven't been in here extremely busy at work, which is a good thing, right? So, we were growing all last year at 12 Point Logistics. If you follow me on LinkedIn, which has been a decent presence growing there, follow me on LinkedIn. We've been posting videos of the build out for our new 12 Point headquarters, which is going to be in the greater Chattanooga area, which pretty much Hickson and Saudi Daisy off Dayton Pike. And, as of today, we're wrapping up the year officially. The projections have been in. The forecast has been in. Where are we going to end up? So officially, 12 Point Logistics crossed over into the $17 million mark revenue sales as of today. So we're going to finish the year right under 17.2, a little over $17.1 million as a company. Really good. Really, really excited about that. I think our, predictions about at the halfway point, we were looking to do about 13 to 14 million. And then I kept telling everybody, I think we're really going to do 16 million. And then it looked like we were going to do 16.5. And then all of a sudden, one little project, and we popped out 17.1. So great year. We did over $10 million more than last year, which is hard to imagine. And, $16 million more than 2 years ago. So pretty good. Not gonna lie, I mean, that's not margin. We operate at about 10.5%, 11%. So you can do the math there and figure out what the margin is. But for a company that's less than 20 people, more than 15, doing about $1 million revenue ahead, it's hard to complain about that in this area. So proud of that. But now we're doing a build out of our new office space. I've showed Ethan some pictures. I've posted the pictures out on LinkedIn. I've got some videos. We're adding in an additional, I believe it's right at like 2,800 square feet. Open warehouse space, 25-foot ceilings. It's going to be finished with like a rustic look. It's going to have a bar in it. It's going to have a deck in it. We're going to put 4 70-inch TVs up on the big wall, combine them together where you have like a catwalk and a deck. You can come out there and watch. Bose system, sound system all the way in the deal. Fireplace, and there's workstations too. But it's going to be really cool. So we're getting ready for that, getting amped up for that. What about you, man? How was Christmas? How was the holidays?
Man, I don't know. Christmas this year just didn't feel like Christmas. I left my parents on Christmas Day. I was just like, I don't know. Just didn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah,
like it used to.
You're older now.
Yeah, that's the main part. It just doesn't have the Christmas magic for right now.
Yeah.
And I did have a good conversation with Sting about it. He was like, it probably won't until you have kids or you're in a place where you can buy everyone gifts. Because that's the transition of getting gifts when you're a kid and being excited to give people the perfect gift. Yeah. But I don't have money for that right now. So
that's funny. There was a phase in my life where it was weird, and you're crossing into it. So, when I was in college, I was still almost treated as if I was the kid because I was kind of still the baby. So I would get, my normal presents or whatever. And it was cool to go home around that time, get off campus or whatever, be home. Christmas.
Yeah.
I was still kind of treated like a kid. When I got my first job at Lipsy, I kind of transitioned out of that. I was partying all the time, but I was still kind of treated that way up until 25 to 27. And it was like, okay, you've been working this job for a couple of years. You should have money, but you're an idiot and you spend it all. So why can't you contribute really cool presents to everyone? But then, so it was like a fake thing where I would just spend all my money on presents during that month. And then I'd pretty much go into the new year at zero. Or I'd get a decent bonus check from doing a hurricane or something. I would just spend it all and then party and then New Year's party. And then by the time I'm done, I'm back at zero. So, the past few years with Tia and Marcus and being in a different phase of my life, that's what Sting is talking about. Being to a point to where you can buy everybody a really nice gift, spoil the people that you want to spoil, not really care about what you get, but then also receive things as well, because that's just kind of how life works. You give and you get. That's just without even wanting. So that's kind of what happens. I think it's probably a couple year phase till you kind of figure out what's up. I mean, I didn't have it all figured out. I still don't have it all figured out, but I'm getting a little bit closer. But other than that, man, a bunch of things we can catch up on.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah,
I did get, I was wearing the Chat with Gunner shirt that we have, and I did get recognized.
Really?
Well, I didn't get recognized. Your name and your logo got recognized.
Okay.
So you're welcome for that.
So, let's talk about it.
It was just two ladies, and they were like, oh my gosh, do you know Gunner Miller? And I was like, yeah, I do a podcast with him. And they were like, oh my gosh, we know his sister, blah, 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 blah. But I just thought it was so funny. That's the first time I've ever had somebody be like, oh, hell, that's Gunner Miller.
There you go. Hey, man, it's dangerous, I'm telling you.
Especially around here, because it's weird because, and no offense, I didn't know who you were before meeting you here.
Yeah.
But it seems like everybody, especially up in Hickson, but everyone outside of here was just like, oh yeah, Gunner Miller, hell yeah, I love that guy. Love that guy.
I mean, yeah. Listen, I try to be a nice guy around here for the most part. And a lot of it, some of it's me. I've carried it on, but it started with my sister, and my parents being around my sister.
Yeah.
That really kind of got the name. And then I was April Miller's little brother. Then slowly it transitioned into she was my sister. You know, like it took a long time, but we got there, and now both got our own deals going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, so just to catch up on a little bit of things I like to talk about, then we'll jump into what Ethan likes to talk about. And we might be able to wrap this bad boy up even a little bit sooner. But Jake Paul, man. So Jake Paul just continues to keep knocking out legit people, I guess. So he had a fight scheduled with Tommy Fury, which is Tyson Fury's little brother, which was going to be his first fight against a boxer. And really, Tommy Fury, I mean, he's got a few amateur fights under his career. Yeah, he is Tyson's little brother, but he hasn't really fought many people either. So I'd put it about the same skill level, 50-50, whatever. Maybe call Jake a slight dog in that. But he got hurt a couple of weeks up leading to the fight. Tyrone Woodley'd still been training. He'd got the Jake Paul tattoo that Jake said he had to get a rematch. They did the rematch. Jake went out there. It was a sloppy fight for, 6 rounds. And then all of a sudden, Jake hit him with a right hook, and down he went like a tree, timber. It looked real bad. Like it was one of the best knockouts of the year, any combat sport. So there that is. And then immediately calls out Dana White, Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, the Gambit, called them all out. I don't know, man. So supposedly the pay-per-view numbers came back. They weren't very great, like 75,000 pay-per-view buys, which is not a lot of money. I know the first one did like 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which was better. But they were selling the Tommy Fury fight. They didn't get it. This Tyron Woodley fight again. I mean, the stadium seemed packed. I don't know, man. You don't really know unless you really know. So everybody can be a skeptic and everybody can say this number, that number. Here's the deal. And people are saying the fight was rigged. The fight is fake. I've fallen for that trap as well. Here's the deal. He's undefeated as a boxer. He's fought bigger names in his first 5 fights than any professional boxer has ever fought in their first 5 fights. He's finished 4 of the 5 fights, and he's knocked out each person he's fought, beating Tyrone in a split decision and then beating him by knockout. So say what you want, man. He's a 5-0 professional boxer. We got to drop the whole he's a YouTuber. We got to drop. He don't YouTube anymore. You got to drop the whole he's a Disney kid. He's not on Disney anymore. You got to drop all that. Jake Paul is an American professional boxer. That's what we should. Yeah. That's what we should list Jake Paul as. That's what he is. That's what he's been getting paid for this year. That's what he does. He's a promoter. He's a businessman, and he's a boxer. That's what Jake Paul does.
Now his brother, on the other hand, you can say whatever you want about him. I don't know. Well, no, not really, because his brother is also fighting. So
his brother's like I'd say Jake is a full-time boxer, businessman / promoter. And then Logan is a full-time entertainer, podcaster, social media guy, businessman, then boxer. That's kind of what I'd put them in. So Logan Paul, I guess people are mad at him. You can kind of shed some light on that.
It's kind of a nothing story. I mean, he literally goes on TikTok and does the TikTok thing. He starts doing crafty stuff.
Yeah.
These epoxy resin tables are like super, super big right now. And he takes 12 Game Boy Colors, the system that was made millions and millions and millions of times.
Yeah.
He takes 12 of them, whether or not they worked or not, and put them in an epoxy resin table and actually made it look really, really cool.
So does that mean like the tabletop is
clear
and the Game Boys are in there? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's see-through. He put obviously like RGB lighting in it to make it light up and make it look cool.
Right.
And it looks like a handcrafted like custom table.
Hey.
Doesn't look like a perfect table, but it looks flat. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
But people are upset because he used old Game Boys, and a lot of people that are, normal have said, well, the 12 Game Boys that he used are like 0.00001% of the total Game Boy population in the world. So it's not like it's that big of a deal, guys.
It's amazing what people actually get
Twitter.
upset about.
It's all Twitter.
It's incredible.
It's so stupid.
It's incredible.
And you know that. I mean, firsthand. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, man. A very small majority of people can make an extremely big deal just by the amount of interactions they have, because that's all it takes. Like if you get like, I think it's like 1,000 tweets about one individual person or topic, and you're trending.
Yep.
Pretty much. So your boy was up there. That's all it took.
Hashtag who is Gunner Miller?
Yeah. Anyway, so also in the Paul brothers, so there's a podcast called Impulsive, which is also on YouTube. They video stream it as well. The Island Boys were on the podcast.
So who are the Island Boys?
You don't know who the Island Boys? Island Boys.
No.
You have not seen the Island Boys?
No.
Hang on.
I'll look them up. You continue talking.
No, I'm going to continue talking and type in Island Boys. So the Island Boys, I don't know if it was like out of nowhere kind of went viral or whatever, but they started doing like these freestyles, and I just happened to find them on I don't know, Facebook or something. But here's a little.
I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy. Hey, I'm a just island boy. I'm a
These
just
two look like
island boy.
absolute.
You're gonna keep that
Yeah, I wouldn't know who
staring
these people were.
I'm just a fool gay.
So, if you've never seen the Island Boys, the easiest way for me to explain them would be, if you've ever in a cartoon, in a caricature. Anyways, so imagine a rake, like an old school metal rake, where you've done a lot of raking, and you maybe hit some sticks and some stones, and your kid started playing and maybe stepped on it too. Maybe got hit by a lawnmower. Anyways, they'll say the rake has like 7 different things at the top, and they're sticking everywhere. They're not even in a raking fashion.
They look like the doll from Rugrats that Angelica had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look. It looks stupid.
So a mixture between the doll, actually Angelica,
Damn.
a rake, because these kids are about the same size as a rake, and then you got to say, I'm assuming they're white. I'm not sure. But very skinny, young white boys with prison tats from their chest to their forehead, all across their body, minus their lips and their nose and their cheeks, part of their cheeks. Anyway, so they do that. This
And it's just their chest
be
too.
Famous. I'm trying to be out the greatest. I'm a Florida boy. I get real damn tropic. I'm like the damn on the top.
So I mean, you can kind of see what you're working with there.
I don't understand.
There you go. So I mean, that's a decent idea there. Anyways, so I mean, that's got 13 million views on YouTube. So you can only imagine what is on TikTok. And they've been on Dave Portnoy's podcast. They've been on the Impulsive podcast. They're everywhere because they're getting a bunch of clicks. Well, they go on Impulsive, and there's a guy named George, right? I guess George is on the show, and he's trying to like give these guys some advice. He's saying, so, right now, because if you listen to them talk, they're idiots. Like, they're not smart at all. I mean, you can listen to their rap and get a good idea that these guys aren't the sharpest tools in the shed. They're not even as sharp as their dreads. They're from Florida. They went in prison at a young age. They have like diamond teeth. I don't know. Not a fan, whatever it is. They're trendy. So this George guy on the Impulsive show was, asking these guys, hey, at least you've invested your money in a lot of really fancy, nice jewelry. So that's an asset. Like, you can trade that back in, get your money back in case you was to stop making money because you're no longer a trend, because news is cyclical. 24-hour news cycle. Whatever's trendy now might not be trendy in 5 years. And these guys obviously don't have a great voice, so they're getting views because people want to laugh at them, with them, whatever. And that's what he kind of said. Like, he said, you got to know, right, that you're not getting views because, you're Mariah Carey. You're getting views because people think this is silly. And how long they're going to think it's silly, I don't know. I mean, The Cash Me Outside girl, she took it and ran with it. It almost kind of seems like she actually got a good manager, and they actually turned her into something that's halfway decent. And she maybe can rap, and you can mess with that. I mean, other than that, though, I'd put these guys in like the William Hung category. Like that's where I'd put these guys, like in the Napoleon Dynamite category. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but he pretty much just asked them, hey, if you want to stop making money doing what you're doing in 5 years, at least you got some money within your assets you can cash back out and be okay for a little bit. And they got super upset and butthurt. And then they tried to like fight on the Impulsive podcast, not fight physically, but fight verbally. And they were like, oh, George, you want to, like, I'm thugging right now. I don't know if you know, they kept saying, I'm thugging. I don't know if you know this, but I'm thugging. Well, they were thugging until Logan stood up, and Logan was like, hey, all right, we're done. We don't do that anymore. Cut it out. No more of this. And then they shut up and they left. I think it was also kind of a skit. Logan thinks it was a skit because they knew that Logan wasn't going to fight them on his own show because that would have been real bad. But, yeah, I don't know. They're punks as far as I'm concerned. They're just, living the moment, getting their cred, chasing their clout. Whatever. No cap. I'm not a fan. Anyways, that was the Paul boys and the Island boys. I'm glad I got to show you the Island boys though. That's very nice. Spider-Man debuted a couple weeks ago.
And how was it is number 3 in openings ever or something like that. Ever.
Did it beat Avengers?
I don't believe so. Now, it's hard to beat Avengers and Avatar because of so many like re-releases and extended releases and blah 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 blah. It has been confirmed that like James Cameron has done everything that he can to make sure that Avatar stays number 1. Like just like Endgame, people were like, Endgame's been in the theaters for a long time, and then they like announced, oh yeah, we're extending it for a little bit longer so that we can say that we're the most profitable movie in its opening release. But yeah, I went and saw Spider-Man, and holy cow, is it good? I'm sad that you haven't seen it yet because you were waiting for Marcus, but and
he saw it without me.
He saw it without you.
Ridiculous.
That's what happens. It happens.
He's a traitor. He's a
but I'll say this: it is 100% worth seeing in theaters. You should see it before it leaves theaters. You should see it in IMAX. I've been thinking about going again. I was gonna go again before Christmas, but I didn't. But I at least want to see it one more time before it leaves theaters. Just because at this point, even though I know what's gonna happen, I want to cry again a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like cry of excitement. They take some turns in this movie that I was not expecting. Mm-hmm. Although they fit very, very well in a Peter Parker Spider-Man story. So it's not like, as somebody that knows comics, it's not something that I'm upset about. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, oh, they went there this movie. Okay. So yeah, I'm still going to do the review on it. I wanted to be sure if you were going to see it or not. But I think I'm probably going to do that either tonight or tomorrow.
I won't watch it until I see the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what happens, kind of. It's hard to...
It's hard to stay away from everybody being excited about this movie. Yeah. I've tried to be good. I haven't posted anything anywhere.
Most people haven't. I will say that. Like, Facebook feed has been pretty clear on spoilers.
The only place I've seen spoilers is a place where... everyone was already on the assumption that you have a week.
Gotcha.
And then we drop everything.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
There's no way you can, like, it's a place where a bunch of nerds are on the internet. So it's just like, listen, we give ourselves a week. You get that convenience time, and then after that, all bets are off. Sorry.
That's fair. That's extremely fair.
So yeah, I went and saw it. I went and saw it opening night. And let me tell you, at 3:00 in the afternoon is not exactly when I think of when I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm ready to go see an opening night for a movie. And when I say that place was packed, it was literally no seats left. Every seat was taken up in the house.
Well, I went to go watch House of Gucci.
Also a very good movie.
Yes. What was it? When I text you, it was a Sunday. I was by myself.
Yeah.
It was. I guess it was a Sunday, the weekend of Spider-Man releasing.
I think so. Because Spider-Man released, and then I saw it that Sunday.
I mean, I went to this movie at like, I don't know, 2 o'clock on Sunday. Maybe not even that. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock on a Sunday. A random time.
Maybe it would have been Saturday.
I was the only person in House of Gucci.
Yeah.
And the parking lot was completely packed.
Yeah.
For Spider-Man, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They had like 6
That's how it was. I think I walked in, maybe there was one other person. By the time the movie started, they got up and left. I was very confused at that for House of Gucci. But maybe they just wanted to get into the movie theater and then are like, wait, there's nobody in here. I'm supposed to be seeing Spider-Man. That's what I like to think. So yeah, that Saturday I went and saw House of Gucci too, and I mean it was the same way. There was just nobody there, and I think that was the right play, because House of Gucci was like 1 or 2 weeks before it was gone. Mm-hmm. So, and I think I want to start seeing movies that I wasn't necessarily excited for, but I'm interested in. I'll wait until it's like the last 2 weeks and go one of those weeks to see a movie like that, because that way I get the movie theater alone. There's nobody there.
Yeah. It's
go on like a Saturday afternoon.
It's like a movie that I would wait to come out on like HBO Max or Netflix or something, but I want to watch it on a 150-inch TV.
Yeah.
You know, by myself in my own.
And it was good. I mean,
did you know the story?
No,
I didn't either.
I didn't know the story, but I mean, from the trailers and just like, why would they make a movie if it wasn't interesting?
Oh,
because the movie wasn't like Crazy Rich Asians, where it was like, oh, it's just lavish, like gold plated everything, and like
I haven't seen that yet.
Crazy Rich Asians is okay. It's literally like it's envy porn. Is the best way I could put it.
Gotcha.
Crazy Rich Asians it's just some movie to show off. Like, oh hey, we got a budget of this many millions of billions of dollars. We're gonna show it off.
Gotcha.
You're welcome.
Gotcha.
And even this movie was just like had the one for like the Lamborghini, and that was about like it wasn't in your face wealth.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point. Like,
well,
Gucci,
besides all the Gucci stuff.
Well, but to me, like, I have never understood like fashion like that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I spent $150 for a necklace that has a G on it.
Yeah. Well, first of all,
it would be like $500, $600. I know.
Good luck.
I've never understood spending $600 on a belt. How about that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's like a one of a kind, like this is the only, we have the sacred cows that the family has had for generations to make this singular belt, and it's handcrafted by the man that has the name himself. Sure, maybe. Probably not. I wouldn't spend $600 for a belt.
Yeah, fashion and designer luxury items in general are strange, because you look at it and you go, okay, what's the difference in a polo shirt from Old Navy and a polo shirt from, even go up the next level, Ralph Lauren, to a polo shirt from, call it Gucci.
Yeah, from Gucci. Wait, now if it had like the red and the green, that might actually look pretty fucking good.
I mean, yeah, but you're going like $800, $100, $10. Like that's, and they all fit about the same, and they all do the same thing. Like, see, that's what I've always cover your body.
I've always found funny, because I work for a wealthy lady who has sons about my age that have grown out of some of their old clothes. And she is not shy from spending a lot of money on clothes for them. And I've gotten some hand-me-downs. And I'll just say, like, the hand-me-downs are just hand-me-downs. Like, I have a few very nice Polo, Ralph Lauren shirts, and I think they feel nice, but is it just like a placebo effect? Am I thinking, oh, this has the logo on it, I should be more appreciative of having this shirt because it has said logo on it? Like, is it just my brain thinking that, or is it just a regular shirt with a logo on it?
Yeah, there's definitely some thoughts to that. So I can say this. Like if you was to go buy a pair of dress shoes from Walmart or whatever, they're not going to be the Cole Haans that I wear.
No.
But the Cole Haans that I wear are like $150 shoes. They're nowhere near a pair of Gucci loafers, which I've never even looked at until I watched the movie, and now I want a pair.
I will say this: I do kind of want a pair of like nice leather like Gucci loafers.
Yeah, there's $750, but check this out. So here's what's cool: like I don't like the clothing. I like the accessories. I like the glasses.
I can see that a little bit more.
I like the glasses, the bags, the belts, and the shoes. That's what I like.
The things that I can understand spending what you're spending for like Gucci is, I would say shoes and boots make sense to me, whereas like a belt or glasses don't as much.
I can say that.
Because again, we're talking about like, if it's Gucci, it's going to be a certain kind of leather from a certain place in Italy, and like it's very specific, and there's a reason it's Gucci.
Yeah.
And especially talking about shoes, when you were bringing it up, like that person spent the time to like handcraft these shoes. It's not made on an assembly line. It's made by hand,
handmade, craftsman,
by craftsmen. Hopefully, maybe
craftswoman.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if it's real Gucci,
craft, transsexual, whatever.
But you know, if it's made by somebody, a craftsperson that literally has to spend their entire life learning how to do that, then yeah, sure, $600 for a pair of boots or some kind of shoe, sure, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, just watching that movie, I do kind of want to spend that kind of money on something for my foot.
Dude, okay, so it's one of those things, right? Like if you're not making the money to be able to pay for it, you don't even look at it. Like I've never even looked at like I've said this seriously. I knew what Gucci was. I honestly thought it was more of a hip hop culture deal because like Gucci Mane, you know, like, and you hear a bunch of that stuff and you like see the Gucci bags and whatever and the belt buckles. But if you look at it from their perspective, it's not just a luxury thing, it's like a status symbol.
Yeah.
So there was like a scene where there's a meeting taking place and the guy in the meeting was wearing a nice pair of like one of one Gucci shoes.
Yes.
And then, you know, the grandfather or the uncle. Was like, where'd you get those shoes at? You know, whatever.
But it was a symbol that the nephew had worked with them, and those were a gift. And yeah, no. When you approach it like that, and you have now that I've seen House of Gucci, and I understand the story behind Gucci a little bit more, I have a little bit of appreciation for certain things of Gucci. Now, will I probably ever decide, no, you know, I'll get I'll get my girl, you know, a Gucci bag? Probably not. But I'll consider it because I know, hey, it's a Gucci bag.
So, like, my sister got my brother-in-law got my sister a Louis Vuitton bag a while back. She's had a couple. Yeah. But so we got my mom one a couple years ago for Christmas, and then I bought Tia one this year for Christmas. So like a Louis Vuitton bag, people like that.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton.
I mean, I'd say as far as bags go, that's the bag.
And are you sure about that?
I don't know, man. But that's what they
exactly.
want. So.
I don't know.
But I mean, Gucci bags are just as expensive.
Oh yeah.
But as far like, I do like the fact that here's where I'm gonna go into this whole designer thing. I get called bougie occasionally. So, say like just being at the office doesn't matter. But say you're going to a very important meeting or an event or something to where you're going to be judged pretty much based on
what you're looking like,
what you look like, what you're wearing,
who you're wearing.
Yeah. So you can look extremely put together, well, nice, and generic, tailored clothes that could be cheap. Right?
Yeah, listen, I don't even own like a tailored shirt yet, so let me get there first before I start spending a lot of money on it.
You know what tailored? Tailored is literally, hey, I'm gonna buy this extra large shirt that doesn't even fit me. I'm gonna take it down to a tailor. They're gonna do my measurements, and it's going to fit me for my body style today perfectly.
Yeah.
Problem with tailored is when it's generic clothing. As soon as your body changes that little bit of shape, that whole thing changes. Like
that's why I haven't gotten any yet.
I've had cheaper suits tailored to fit me perfectly at certain phases of my life. And you know me, I can go from 205 to 240 in 3 months.
I'd like to put like 3 of those in a line together and see how like differently width they are.
It's ridiculous. So like I put them on now and they're just extremely wide in the waist compared. I don't know. It's just weird. So like they make suits from these other companies now. They're like athletic fit suits. Like the pants that I wear are stretch pants, but they look fancy.
Absolutely.
They're
all the time.
They're not cheap, but they're not expensive.
Yeah.
They're $100. And then my shirts are the same thing. Like my shirts don't have a logo, but my shirts are Buttercloth shirts. They need to sponsor this damn podcast. My shirts are Buttercloth shirts, e-commerce. My pants are State and Liberty pants, e-commerce.
They're both with them.
Yeah, they're both athletic deals. My shoes are Cole Haan's. They're literally dress shoes with Nike soles and Nike bottoms. So like I'm a very athletic, pro business, casual type.
Yeah.
Like people like, why are you dressing up for work? Dude, I'm so comfortable for work. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm more comfortable than wearing like athletic
when you come
clothes.
in after work some days, I'm like, I would probably wear that. Like it doesn't surprise me at all. Like if I could get fitted shoes and pants and shirts.
Those aren't even fitted, dude. Those are like, so my pants are a 36. They just fit me.
Yeah.
Because I'm already an athletic build, so it just naturally fits me. The shirts I get, some are larges, some are extra larges, but they just fit me.
Yeah.
And they stretch and they go with me. It just works.
But I mean, like, I feel like business / casual is such an easy look to pull off, and also you can make it super comfortable.
And all you got to do to make it business like professional is you just got to have
sleeves.
You just got to have a suit, like a jacket, and a tie.
Yeah.
So I would think the things to spend money on, if you want to spend money on to like make an impression, the things people look at is your watch, your belt, your shoes, your tie, and your sunglasses. That's what people stand out and look at.
Okay, hold on. Is there like a high dollar, like way too expensive for its own good tie brand out there?
So Trump has a tie brand.
Oh, shit, we kind of
silk ties.
We need Trump ties up in this.
Yeah, they do have Trump ties, but I would say, I mean, all those designer places all also make ties.
Okay, so because I used to be so every game day for football, because I was in the band but I didn't wear a uniform.
Yep.
Or I didn't have like a band uniform. I would go business casual at the very least. So I wore ties every Friday. And then for soccer as well, same exact thing. So for my sophomore to senior year, at least once a week for the entire year, I wore a tie. And I was pretty crazy about it because I was like, I love wearing a tie. I love looking good. But I never looked at like expensive ties.
So yeah, I mean, a tie is a tie. And obviously there's like cloth ties and then there's silk ties. So a Gucci tie, which I'm assuming is all silk ties, $220 for a Gucci tie. All right.
You said $220?
$220 for a Gucci tie.
Okay.
And it has the distinguished like GG type of a logo in there. So that's a thing. So that could kind of stand out, and you could wear that with a nice like if you go buy a tailored suit from like J. Alexander's or Joseph A. Banks, you're going to spend buy 2 get 1 free, but you're going to spend $3,000, you know, to get your stuff tailored the way you want. And then if you just eat 1 potato chip, you're out of it.
Yep.
So, I mean, I've got $2,000 worth of suits sitting in my closet that I literally can't wear right now. So, but the State and Liberty brand, I'm about to get a blazer, but I've got, 3 pairs of dress pants. They all have matching blazers. The dress pants are like $110. The blazers are $550. But then when you get the blazers, you have a suit. So you have a suit for $750 that is form fitted, fits perfectly, that you can machine wash and dry. And they're not wrinkled. But you match that with a nice pair of dress shoes, a nice belt, a nice watch, and a nice tie, and a nice, whatever. Now you're pulling off the outfit and you look presentable in a cheaper than need to be, but also very desirable, fashionable way. So when you see me walk in here one day with a pair of Gucci loafers and that double G belt because it goes with my name, and then
that is true. You do kind of yeah. Okay.
So I got the Gucci shoes with the G, the Gucci belt with the G, and then you've got the if I had to have a tie or whatever, but you'll know. Here's how you'll know I'm
you've made it.
Not made it. Made it's a completely different story. You'll know I've made it when I drive a Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
That's like he done made it. Like he's
made it. Done forever.
Like, he's not done forever, but he been made it. So when you see me pull up in a red Ferrari, I've been made it.
Okay. I've been made it.
So
just the syntax for that.
Yeah, I've been made that one. And then but when I have a Rolex,
yeah,
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm similar, but I think it may be different upbringings, different current financial statuses. I feel like if I walk in here ever in a fitted suit, I'll have made it. Because at that point I'll feel like I could spend that much money on a outfit.
So I'll tell you, we did for my buddy's wedding. We bought $250 suits.
Nice.
So extremely cheap for suits.
Yeah.
Navy suits, just top and bottom.
Cool.
And they literally, I'm not a small person, and I looked like I was wearing. I look like a kid wearing my dad's suit. That's what it looked like. Took it to a tailor downtown for a day. I think we spent, it was like $50 to $100 on the tailor. So call it $300 to $350 all in for the suit.
Yeah.
Thing came back, fit me exactly how my body fit. Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't tell the difference.
And that's my thing. I've always said I need a suit. I need a suit because I have never been in a position where I needed one. Even in high school, like I was talking about before, I didn't wear a jacket.
Yeah.
I just wore nice pants, a nice belt, nice shoes, a shirt and a tie. It all fit me like it was supposed to because I got the right sizes and everything. Yep. And I was slimmer back then. But I never had a fitted suit. And especially here recently, because I did watch Ted Lasso. I was telling you about that before. And coaches for soccer or football, if you're in Europe, wear suits on the field. Some of them do. Some of them will wear, obviously, track suits. But the serious ones wear suits. And I just look at that, especially, because I watched Ted Lasso. I was looking at that and I was like, damn, that guy looks really good. His suit fits him very well.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I need a damn suit.
Right.
And I feel like the day when I feel comfortable enough where I'm at, as far as weight, body size, blah, 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 I'll go out, I'll get a suit made for myself, and I'll probably never wear it because when do you wear a suit?
Here's another thing. Great question. When do you wear a suit? Whenever you want to. Because here's why I say that. Take a look. If you just go back to the 1920s, anywhere in the 20s, every single person.
You're about to go somewhere where my headspace has been for a very long time, Gunner.
Every person is dressed professionally.
Absolutely.
Cap, suit, tie,
and on top of that, a suit coat,
suit
full-on coat,
trench coat.
Yeah.
Getting the shoe shine spots everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
I mean, what happened?
Beyond, the Spanish flu, I would love to go back 100 years. I would feel very happy.
don't have to.
Other than the racism.
You can bring it back right here, Ethan. All you have to do, listen, you could go to Goodwill tomorrow. Go to Goodwill
God.
for $20.
This is the type of shit I love to do. We should do videos of us going to Goodwill getting suits.
Let's do one. Let's do okay, so no, so Tia Tia's about to accept it. She's accepted a job within her company, the First Fleet, to be like a driver manager. So she's going to be moving to Portland, Tennessee, kind of temporarily. We got to get her an apartment up there. Portland's like 45 minutes above Nashville, right below Kentucky. So regardless, Marcus is going to be with me for, finish off this semester. And then, we might go up there for summer or whatever. And I might be up there in the weekends, drive back for work, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be here quite a bit by myself throughout the week, which means we're going to have content time because I got nothing else to do. Because he'll be up there during the summertime with her or whatever, or at least during school next year, like during the fall. I will be here during the week. So I do not have anything to do. So,
you hear that, guys? 2021 or 2022. It's a promise.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some stuff. So what we could do is, here's a great play. We could go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
And we could do videos on like how to look like nice
at a Goodwill.
At a Goodwill as cheap as possible by going to a tailor.
Absolutely.
So you go to Goodwill. I bet for $25 we could get socks, undershirt, dress shirt, tie, pants, and blazer.
Yeah.
Maybe not all matching, but the same color and close enough. I bet we can get all that at Goodwill. I bet we could go to a tailor. I bet we could pay a tailor, figure it out. I bet less than $100. I guarantee you, less than $100, we could have a sweet suit.
Oh, yeah.
With shoes.
With shoes, you're entirely right.
Because all you got to do is any pair of shoes, it doesn't matter what they are, any pair of shoes, as long as they're shined and polished,
oh, yeah,
they're nice. The only time you're going to be able to tell the difference is if they got some type of a belt buckle on them or whatever. But that's a good idea. That'd be cool.
That's not a bad
idea. That would actually,
whatsoever.
I think that would probably get views.
Goodwill to the tailor.
Goodwill to the tailor.
God,
and we'll do that. So, but like for me, my dress of choice, like I've already changed like my whole presence at work. So for years, man, from like 2014 to 2021, for the majority of 21, I wore athletic shorts, sweatpants, jeans, just any type of t-shirt, hoodie, whatever to work. That's what I wore to work.
Yeah.
So now I've got my new thing. So when the sales team came in, I kind of became like the director of sales. I was like, it's a great time to rebrand. You can rebrand whenever. The only thing about rebranding when you're around a certain amount of people all the time is that you're going to have to deal with the feedback from them of why are you changing? Because people don't like change. They like to point out change, which is fine. No big deal. So as long as you have the ego and you have the ability to be able to take that abuse for a small temporary time in the space, like, a month seems like a long time to hear the same jokes. But when the month's over, it's over. And then it's like you're rebranded, you're a butterfly, and you just popped out. So I went from doing all that to wearing dress shirt, dress pants, tucked in, dress shoes every day.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays or the last day of the week that I would work, I would wear jeans, nice shoes, and either a polo or like what I'm wearing right now, like a nice button
jacket.
up.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I've done. My guys do that. Everybody dresses nice. One of my guys wears a tie every day. Like they're bought into the dress good, play good. So what I want to end up doing once I start traveling a little bit more is I'm going to be in State and Liberty suit, dress and pants, buttercloth shirt, Gucci tie, Rolex, Gucci belt, Gucci loafers. And when I go in somewhere, and Tom Ford glasses, why?
Okay.
Because Tom Ford was the designer that Gucci brought on to take them to the next level, but he already has his own brand of glasses.
Oh, yeah.
So the Gucci glasses are just Tom Ford glasses with the Gucci logo. Yeah. So you want the Tom Ford glasses, the Gucci tie, the Gucci belt, the Rolex watch, and the Gucci shoes with the athletic fit dress with the suit and a buttercloth shirt. Let me tell you something. I would go give a keynote to 100,000 people in that outfit, ready to roll.
100%.
With my Lath quotes haircut, ready to roll, bro. I'm going to Miami in the middle of January to a Grant Cardone boot camp, 3 days.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, man, I'm fired up about that. And if I was in the right position in life, I would have that exact get up going down there for 3 days. But I don't, so we'll keep it a little bit.
We'll reel it back real quick.
Reel it back.
But yeah, all of that being said, House of Gucci was a really good movie.
Yeah, man. That's how we get off on tangents. Had zero clue what it was going to be about, what the story was.
But it's Adam Driver, it's Lady Gaga.
Crushed it.
It's Jared Leto.
Crushed
it's,
it.
Who else was that?
The old man.
Jeremy Irons.
Yep.
That was the dad.
Yep.
But who played the uncle? Jeez.
Is that Pacino?
Is it Al Pacino?
It looked a lot like him. I don't think it was, but it came off that way.
That was the kind of the theme of the character, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think it was.
No, it was Al Pacino.
It was it? Okay, yeah.
It's hard. Al Pacino's such a chameleon. Now, especially nowadays, because you don't see him in everything.
And he gets older every time you see him. So.
Yes. And in this movie, he was very old.
He played like an old Scarface in this movie,
He
though.
did. And I think that's, again, why I liked this movie, was because it's not a story you hear about. It's a story about a family that I texted you after I got out of the theater. Thank God I don't have money and I don't come from money.
Well, thank God you don't come from money.
Yes. I eventually would like money. Thank you.
Yes.
Let's manifest that real quick.
Yeah.
But
I am
thank
rich,
God
I am powerful. I am strong.
People like me, damn it. But thank God I don't come from money like that, because I would be Adam Driver. I wouldn't want to be in it, and then I'd get dragged into it. And then a movie happens, and it's not really spoilers because it's a real life story that happened 30 years ago. Then he gets shot by his ex-wife, or his estranged wife.
Hired gun, right?
She got convicted, so it's her.
Yeah, okay.
She got convicted.
So here's what I thought was cool. So that guy had like he was on the verge of being good or bad, kind of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So there towards the end when she shows up and she's like, "Why don't you like take me back all this stuff?" And he's like,
"I don't love you.
I'm a Gucci. You should have known this getting into
you're
this."
The best line. I married a monster. No, you married a Gucci.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Oof.
I just wanted to hop into a Ferrari and take off that day.
But yeah, no, like I liked the movie because it did start like she starts from. You know, she's a young woman. She probably spends her dad's money a little bit too much, but she doesn't have Gucci money.
Yeah.
And then she meets him.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of strife with the father because she doesn't have money, so she's marrying you for your money.
Yeah.
You have to be careful of that. And you know, she comes up and she starts getting these free
because Pacino knows
because of the uncle.
If he can get to her, he can get to him, and then he's going to run the
shares.
business. Yeah.
And that's where again, more money, more fucking problems is what I texted you.
Hey,
just like, geez, Louise.
Listen, I'll take some problems.
Yeah, I could use some problems in my life. But yeah, no, it's a good movie for seeing a little bit of the 1%, I'd say, because they go to like the uncle's villa, and good Lord,
and he's like,
Tuscany.
Everyone, tell me happy birthday.
Yeah, Tuscan villas. Like you hear about them, you imagine like, oh yeah, it's Italy. You know, you've got the Mediterranean right there. But then you see it. You see a villa like that. And the drive up to it, there's like, you don't have neighbors because one side of your house is next to the Mediterranean Sea. The other side of the house is also the Mediterranean Sea. And then it's just a driveway. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's real money.
Pretty sweet.
I do appreciate that part of like human culture, like Italy, Tuscany. It's a very rustic and family-oriented part of the world.
Let me tell you something. I am such like, if there's one thing that I wish if I could be born again.
Yeah.
And I could be born into an era, and I could be born into a person.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like in a past life, maybe I was. I should have been in the mafia.
You should have been Italian.
I love Italian food. I could eat pasta every single day.
If it wouldn't cause diabetes in me, yeah, I would.
I love.
That's why I wish I had Italian blood.
Yeah, I mean, I love the loyalty, the family aspect. I love reading about it. I love learning about it.
Yeah.
I love movies about. I love everything mafia or Italian. Rocky Balboa.
Really, and I've done a little bit of reading on this. Maybe you can correct me. I think mafia and Italian culture that we think of in America didn't happen a lot until America. You had the mafia, sure, in Italy, but it wasn't like it's not like it is here. When you think Italian, you think mafia. Over in Italy, it's more. Oh, they have.
It
crime.
was So it was. I would say over in Italy, it was the families, and then the families came over, and the families
realized
started.
we can control.
We
things.
can't just have jobs. What we're going to do though is we're just going to control sectors of civilization.
Yes.
And we're going to control it all. And if they don't like that, we'll just beat them up, or then we'll kill them, or then
because we're family and it's us versus them.
Yeah, and if you want to be a made man, you gotta. You just don't become a made man. You got to put in the work to become a made man. Like there's so many great mafia podcast document. Oh my god! There's one Patrick Bet David did that I haven't jumped in all the way yet, but it's Michael Franzese and it's Sammy the Bull, and it's the first time ever in the history of recorded video that two made men sit down from two different families and have a conversation for 10 days. And then they put it together in a series, and Netflix tried to buy it. Amazon tried to buy it. Everybody tried to buy it. Pat Betcher said no, or Patrick Bet David said nope. Put it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
send that to me because I kind of want to listen.
It's incredible. And those two guys, like Michael Franzese, so he's known as the biggest earner ever as a mafia member. And the way he did that was he scammed the government on gas.
You've told me this story before.
It's incredible. Yeah. And only reason he got caught is because the government figured out they're being idiots, and they kind of caught themselves and then caught him. And Rudy Giuliani was the one that put him in. Yeah. And because he made a living after going after crime families and all that. Anyways, I should have been.
It kind of makes sense. You like Batman so much. And a lot of Batman is going after crime families.
Yes.
Mafia families.
I love Batman.
That makes sense.
I love Rocky. I love Scarface, which is not Italian, but it's Cuban and Cuban. It's mafia. I love gangster stuff. Like I am.
It's like the Wild West. Yeah. But it's a little bit more modern.
But I don't like I don't like killing people or the raping people or the murder. I don't like that aspect. I like the business.
The
respect, the business, the way that the family operates. Yeah. The hierarchy.
Because you're in the family. You either work with the family or you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or you don't really leave the family.
You have territory. Like the mafia wasn't even into drugs in the early phases. They did gambling. They did construction work.
Well, you listen to Joey Diaz talk about that. Like that is whenever I see Joey Diaz on Joe Rogan and I can find the part where he's talking about his life growing up, especially the numbers. Yeah. Like him and his grandmother and his mother. Yeah, and his mother, and just talking about that stuff and I knew what was going on when I was real young, and then I started getting into it. Like it's interesting to me because stuff like the numbers, like there's no reason it was illegal. There's no real reason it should be illegal. It's just taking the horse track numbers and then people just betting on if they get the two numbers or not. Like, why is that illegal? Who knows? Because people like money.
Well, gambling shouldn't be illegal either at all.
Well, no.
I mean, what are you doing? You're
giving up your own money?
I bet that team wins.
Yeah.
And only at a high level is it really illegal? Like, if you're just winning a couple $100, nobody cares. But if you win a couple $1 million, everybody's like, wait a minute, it's illegal.
Hold on.
And it's the same thing with like prostitution. I don't understand why it's illegal.
Yeah.
Because
it's the oldest profession.
Well, first of all, I've always said this. What's the difference in that and paying for dinner?
There is none.
There is none. There is no difference.
But it's legal if you film it.
Yeah.
Because that's just porn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Or OnlyFans or whatever.
Yeah. It gets real complicated nowadays. But yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, I don't understand, and I do understand. It's the government.
Mm-hmm.
They want either to keep people from doing stuff that they think is bad or blah 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 blah. But let's be honest here. If they just taxed it, the government gets their cut. Let's be honest.
Well, they're going to get all that. Like
they get taxes out of it.
Like, listen,
they can tax the actual transaction.
Prohibition.
itself.
We're not going to have any alcohol. Okay, we'll just tax it. Weed.
Exactly.
Weed's bad. Okay, we'll just tax it. Yeah. Mushrooms. We'll just tax it. Cocaine. We'll just tax it.
Now,
like
I know how we all feel about Oregon as a state, but I would love to see what this past year has done for their numbers because they legalized everything.
I would love to know. I'd like to see in 10
see,
years. In 10 years, I want to know.
Well, yeah. I'd give it 10 years.
Say 2010 to 2020. What was the crime rate, death rate, overdose rate, blah, 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 blah. And then
in 2030, let's figure it out again. Because they just passed that in 2020. So
I've always said, man, and this is one of the
year.
biggest debates I get into just with like normal people, just random conversations when it gets brought up. And I go, you know what? We should legalize. Nothing should be illegal. There should just be proper education and serving sizes and let everybody know that, like, say when you're drinking alcohol, you know that if you drink more than 2 beers and if you get pulled over, you're going to get a DUI.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that if you drink 6 beers, you're probably going to be drunk. And you know if you drink 12 beers, you're probably going to be hungover. And you know if you have whiskey, if you have 1 glass, you're probably okay. If you have 2 glasses, now you're feeling really good and you're social. 3 glasses, you're borderline. 4 glasses, now you're drunk. 5 glasses, you black out. 6 glasses, now you got a hangover. Like, that's just.
You shouldn't just already. Yeah. You should know
Or you could have 6 glasses throughout the entire day, every 2 hours, and you'd probably be all right. Yeah. But if you have 6 glasses in 1 hour, now you got a problem. Yeah. So you do the same thing with marijuana or cigarette. If you smoke a carton of cigarettes in a day, every day, for the rest of your life, you're probably going to die from cigarettes. But if you smoke 1 cigarette a day for your entire life, you're probably not going to be all right.
You could be okay.
You look at, like, if you say marijuana, like if you take edibles, if you do a 10 milligram edible, probably going to be all right.
You're gonna cruise through the day.
If you do a 100 milligram edible, you're probably going.
You're gonna be stuck on your couch.
You're probably going to be wondering why you can't breathe. If you like cocaine, I don't know anything about cocaine, but if you say you're doing cocaine, if it was like,
if you do less than, you just
cocaine, you can die from cocaine.
Oh, 100%.
But if you only do this amount in this amount of time, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Or get pure cocaine, pure weed, pure whatever,
regulated
instead of getting fentanyl
cocaine.
in it. Yeah, get pharmaceutical graded stuff. Don't just get stuff from like
God,
Jim
can you
Bob over
imagine
here
the
getting
day
it.
when we have pharmaceutical grade cocaine?
Yeah, it was called Coca-Cola.
That is true.
No, and it was in Chattanooga.
This is why we need to go back to the 20s.
Yeah.
100 years ago.
People dressed
Cocaine
good,
and the Coke.
did Coke. It's great, man. It's
Coke
great.
and the Coke, bro?
Yeah.
Come on.
Women couldn't vote. Fantastic.
A little bit of
what?
racism.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Hold on.
Not the race. I didn't mean to say that at that time.
We
That
couldn't work together, Gunner.
That's true. What was, did you watch on Netflix Don't Look Up?
I have not seen that yet.
What?
I've heard good things, but I've also heard it's a little too heavy-handed as far as who's the good people, who's the bad people.
Here's what I'll say. Don't take like
real
reviewing the movie out of it out.
Okay.
Don't review the movie. Okay. Just watch the movie.
Okay.
Just enjoy.
Well, it's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I watch those. I'll watch any of those, really.
Yeah, and
because it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Crushes it. First of all, so yeah,
it looks like the end of the year movie that everyone wanted to make their taxes off of kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like kind of like Love Actually. Every time I see Love Actually come on, I'm just like, everyone that did that movie did it for tax reasons.
Okay. So think of this movie as a mockumentary.
Yeah.
Of what potentially could happen any year from now.
I have seen, because I was hovering over it when I first turned on Netflix. I did see the Netflix preview or whatever. It's like, you can't tell people 100%. Well, ma'am, it's 99% chance that everyone's going to die.
Yeah,
but then you can round it down to 70%. Come on. It's just like, really?
Yeah, they go, nothing's 100% in science, but it's 99.7% certain that this is going to hit Earth? And she goes, yeah, just call it 70.
Just round it around. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting because, you know, like we were talking about the asteroids and like the things that could potentially kind of hit us.
Have I told you that story as a kid? I saw like on Discovery Channel or History Channel or something like that. It was like, in 2050, we will be hit by a meteor that will wipe out humanity. And I just like, as a 6-year-old kid, lost it. I should not have seen that. And I just had like an existential crisis at 6 years old. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Well, it's funny because the way they made it seem, it was almost like it was a woman president, but Trump.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of came off as. So it was like, hey, yeah, I know the Earth's going to end in like 6 months and 14 days, but it's a really bad time in the polls right now.
Yeah, come on.
So we're going to have to push this out a little bit. And then it was like into their favor to do it. So it was like, yeah, we need to bring that asteroid thing back up. I think that'd be really good for the polls. But there's an extremely hilariously racist, homophobic part of the movie.
Really?
That they could only get away with it with that cast and the guy that the old white man, did he play Hellboy? Is he the one that's in it?
Are you Ron Perlman?
I think so.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
You'd recognize Ron Perlman.
Yes. So he's the man they're sending to Bruce Willis this asteroid, and his commentary on the way up is genius. It's hilarious.
Oh, damn. Chris Evans is in it?
He has a small part, like a cameo.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet is in it. Nice.
Yeah, dude. Tyler Perry's in it.
Oh, shit. I just saw that.
Kristen Stewart's in it.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. Yep.
Yeah, so he plays our cowboy.
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence.
I mean, that's what I meant. It's Jennifer Lawrence. They're all the same.
But Meryl Streep is president. I mean, come on. It's Meryl Streep.
Oh, yeah. She does a good job. Anyways, so it's pretty good. I mean, it's not going to win no awards, but it's a good Netflix movie.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. We can talk about how, and then we're going to wrap up. We can talk about how Red Notice is the most watched movie, streamed wise, hours wise, of all time.
Yeah, but I've also heard that it dropped off hard.
Did it?
Like, people are not very, like, people watched it, but people weren't like that interested in it.
What do you mean?
Like, I heard that this is the least.
Where'd you hear?
Okay. I heard from people on YouTube, the reviewers that I respect.
Okay.
That they said they enjoyed it, but however, they were reporting that this is the lowest rated rock movie ever. Or rock related property.
That's not true.
Is it not?
It's like not even close to true. Let's just that couldn't even be further from the truth.
It's got a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes, which we don't appreciate Rotten Tomatoes because it also has a 92%. Let's be honest.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah. So the tomato meter.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about here?
I don't know what he was talking about, but I'll go back and listen to it.
a 100 on Rotten Tomato, and the audience score was like 1.
It's like 3.
Yeah. So I don't look at the tomato meter. I just look at the audience score. So it's one of his highest audience scores.
Oh, okay. Maybe I got it all backwards.
Yeah. So literally, it's the. Let's see if I can find the thing here.
I just want to go look at the Fauci thing again.
So
it's a 2%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So this movie, as of a month ago, it was Netflix's most watched movie of all time. Mm-hmm. But one day ago was the first day that it dropped out of the top 10 in every country for the first time. At the same time that Jungle Cruise is on Disney streaming doing the exact same thing. So The Rock had 2 of the most streamed movies happening simultaneously on 2 different streaming platforms.
Yep.
But yeah, see, here's the thing with The Rock, and this is why I like him. He could give 3 shits what critics say. He only cares about what his fans say. So say you only have 1,000 fans. You can't go based off what your fans say. You got to go based off what the critics say because the critics are going to get you more fans. But when you got almost 300 million followers on social media and you're the most followed man on the planet, Doesn't matter what the critics say. It matters what your fans say. And the fans like him. So there's that. But
Yeah.
have you seen it?
I started watching it. I just didn't get drawn in.
Yeah.
I was doing other stuff, so I just kind of
I mean,
started watching
I don't
something
think it's a great movie. I think it's a fun movie.
I have heard that it's very much a popcorn flick. It's just like
yeah. I mean,
consumable kind of movie. It's just like you'll watch it once or twice.
you're not going to watch it
seen
again.
it. Yeah.
If it came on TV, like you might leave it on, but
Yes.
you're not going to you're not going to search out to be like, oh, I'm gonna watch Red Notice because this one scene. Like it's not like that. And then once it's over, it's like, oh, that's what they did with it. All right, cool. I see it. I mean, there's going to be a Red Notice too for a 1,000,000,000% fact, and it'll crush. But
I did start watching The Witcher though, so I think that's what caught me.
Tia's
that night.
knocked both of those out.
Yeah, it's been Ted Lasso, Hawkeye, The Witcher, Book of Boba Fett just came out. I'm not that excited about it. I'm kind of upset with myself. But it's just meh. I am at that point where I've told you this before. Unless I find another thing that really hooks me and has multiple seasons, I think January 2022 is when I'm going to start Yellowstone.
Well, I can tell you, as this last season is wrapping up this Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, it is.
Here's my thing. I'm in the mood for cowboys. I popped Red Dead Redemption 2 back into the PS5, and man, I'm having a good time.
Then you might want to jump into 1883.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like if I watch 1883, it'll be like watching The Hobbit or like Lord of the Rings and then The Hobbit in the wrong order. Does that make sense?
Can you not watch The Hobbit first?
I mean, you can.
Isn't
sure.
that the prequel?
It is, but it gives away Lord of the Rings stuff. Or stuff won't make sense in The Hobbit because you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay, so that
A little bit.
I get it. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch something.
It's not impossible to watch them out of order, but you'll get confused.
I got you.
So
it's
I don't
like
want to be
watching
confused.
the Marvel universe. Like you can watch it
Exactly.
out. You can watch it in order, but you really don't want to.
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch it
The way it was supposed to be done.
the way it was released.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
and
with you.
that's what I want to do with Yellowstone.
I'm with you.
It's either that or I do Westworld.
No.
You don't like Westworld?
It's just I've tried so many times. It's like The Matrix, man. I literally both of those I've tried so many times.
I mean,
I'm dead serious. I cannot get past. This is where I get every time in The Matrix when they're like when the robot fishes are
Yeah.
running around and they sees it for the first time and it's like
Yeah.
they're protecting the sewers or whatever.
yeah.
Every time, every time.
I find that so funny because the second and third Matrix, total snore fest. The second one has one of the better scenes of the series, but
That's the
if you
gun
never
scene in the hallway.
not the gun scene in the hallway. It's the chasing.
Oh, okay.
But if you never see it, okay, you're not missing anything. But The Matrix 1, just as a standalone movie, one of the better movies of 2000s, early 2000s.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
But yeah, no, I can understand going into Matrix 1 and kind of falling asleep. It is a little bit more metaphysics heavy than you probably expect when you go into a movie like Keanu Reeves doing kung fu. Like,
dude, here's my problem. I've every time I've tried to watch it, it's been maybe I'm not all the way awake, or I've already watched something. I'm like, you know what? I'm watching The Matrix tonight. Like the other night, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm about to binge The Matrix.
I'm about to do it.
And
You
then
were so excited. I was
30
like,
minutes in, I was
dude.
asleep. So there's certain times where like maybe I sleep in too long, and it's
Yeah.
like 12 o'clock, and then I wake up and I eat something, and I'm not tired whatsoever. Nobody's home and nobody's around, and I've got nothing to do, and I just had an energy drink, and I'm geeked. My phone's about to die. That's when I need to watch The Matrix. Like I need to watch The Matrix in a theater, wide awake, with popcorn and a Coke, and my phone in the car. That's how I need to watch The Matrix. With a caffeine pill and a Rain energy drink. Maybe a modafinil.
Maybe I'm gonna maybe.
Like, all that. Like that's what I need to stay awake to watch The Matrix. Because I have honestly tried since I was a kid to watch that
Since
movie.
it was released.
Well, yeah, like so I was 9 when it was released. My brother-in-law loved it. I've tried to watch it since then. Not kidding.
I'll be honest with you. It took me a while to get through the first Matrix because I was a kid. I mean, other than Keanu Reeves is kicking ass.
Love the games.
Yeah. Other than the fact that Keanu Reeves was looking cool in that movie, I did not care. Nor did I understand any of it. Like, oh, we live in a simulation? Okay. But yeah, no. I do remember the first time I watched The Matrix fully, all the way through, and understood, like, oh, this is what it was all about.
Yep.
It's not about if he takes the red or blue pill. It's about the choice. No. The good segue, though. Matrix 4 kind of sucked ass.
I've heard it was. Did you say it was a Matrix? Matrix.
Yeah, it was Matrix.
Pretty fun.
It was. If this year has given us Ghostbusters Afterlife to be the balancing act for Ghostbusters 2016, and we've gotten good sequels to balance out the bad ones, The Matrix sits right in the center, where it's not good enough to be excited about again, but it's not bad enough to like totally crap on. It's like dead in the middle, where I just kind of fell asleep when they started talking about some stuff.
So it's like nostalgia, but then it was too long for it.
It's not that it was too long. The first movie is the perfect timing, and this movie was right about there. It's just, it sits too comfortable. It is basically the first movie, but it sits too comfortable. It doesn't do anything special. It just kind of, here's the thing about the fourth movie. It's actually very funny. The first,
I'm watching it tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch
the fourth movie.
Yeah, fuck the rest of them. I'm watching the new one.
Okay. Here's the thing. The fourth movie starts off with a very good premise, and I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm gonna pick and choose.
All right.
But it starts off, because it's the fourth movie. It's resurrections. For you to know, because you're not gonna watch the third movie. In the third movie,
here, do this.
Neo dies.
Okay, do this for me real quick.
Okay.
You ready? I want you to 2-minute spark note.
Okay.
We're gonna time it.
Okay.
I'm gonna see how good you are. We're gonna 2-minute. Actually, I want an elevator pitch.
Okay.
1 minute
for the entirety of the Matrix trilogy.
1 minute on the trilogy.
Okay.
To set me up for tonight.
Okay.
And then we'll start off the podcast next week.
To see how well I did.
To see how well you did, and also I promise you, I'm going to watch The Matrix tonight with Tia. I'm gonna make her watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's on HBO Max. So
Matrix trilogy.
2, 1,
go.
All right. So you've got Thomas Anderson. He's just a regular guy. All right. And then he sees this other guy, Agent Smith. And Agent Smith is part of the simulation. He's a computer. And then Thomas Anderson meets Morpheus. And Morpheus holds up red pill, blue pill. He takes the red pill, and he realizes that everything's a simulation. Humanity is the batteries that make the machines run. The machines are just creating a simulation that looks like 1990s random Chicago. So come to find out, Neo, Thomas Anderson, Keanu Reeves is the one. He's an anomaly in the Matrix. He's an anomaly in the simulation. He can control the simulation. He's a human that can control it. So the trilogy is basically about Neo fighting against the machines. By the end of the third movie, they come to some sort of agreement that humanity will have more agency in the Matrix, but to give it up, to get that, Neo has to die. He's basically Jesus. He's a robot Jesus.
That's pretty good for a minute and 10 seconds. And that was more entertaining than anything I've ever seen in The Matrix. I can promise you that.
I mean, that's basically it. There's obviously, there's obviously a lot more that I'm missing.
So let me just my dumb brain. Okay. So Keanu Reeves, who plays Thomas Anderson, who plays the one, who plays the deal. So he is a Neo inside of the Matrix. That's like his code name, right? So
yes. It is his name.
Yeah, the people that are with him, like at the very beginning, like Morpheus and all those other ones, they're all fake.
They're real.
They're the humans.
They're humans
that made it.
Yeah.
They're underground.
No. They're not. They didn't make the Matrix.
No.
The machines
They made it from. They didn't die.
Yes.
Okay.
They removed themselves from the Matrix.
Okay.
Yes.
So then they know how to tap back into
Yes.
it, and that's what they were teaching him in the first one. And then he learns it, becomes like a master of it because he's the one.
Yes.
And then he starts like manipulating.
That's why he can do bullet time.
Yeah.
He can see things happening before they happen, kind of thing, and then he does the bullet time.
And the white guy with the glasses, there's like a billions of them.
That's Agent Smith.
That's Agent Smith,
Yep.
and that's the person that's always going after him. He's like the bad guy of every level.
He's part of the Matrix that is looking for people that have gotten out.
Gotcha.
He's the antivirus.
Gotcha.
If Neo is the virus.
Okay.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay. Watch Matrix 4. Basically, all you need to know is Neo is the one.
And he died in the third
And he
one.
dies in the third.
How'd he die?
He dies sacrificing himself to create basically a new Matrix where everyone is equal. Everyone has more agency.
So Thomas Anderson is the real person in real life.
Yes. Well, that's where the Matrix gets complicated.
Okay.
Because real life
Is simulation.
it's outside the simulation.
Gotcha.
In the Matrix, Neo is Thomas Anderson. That's his given name. That's his birth name. How about
Gotcha.
that? But his true name, the name outside of it, the name that he gives himself is Neo.
Okay.
And then that's who he is outside of it in the robot apocalypse.
Yeah.
That isn't in the Matrix.
All right. That's tonight.
But back to it, Matrix 4, the way they started out is really interesting. But then about 40 minutes into the movie, it just becomes the first movie again. Which is okay. It's safe, but it doesn't do anything interesting. By the end of it, it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It's not I'll say this, it's not like wokeism, heavy-handed, anything like that. If anything, it's actually a very conservative movie. It's a very traditional movie. But it's nothing special. They just kind of things happen to make a fourth movie. I'll just say that. And there is even a line in the movie that's like, so just to give you the premise, Thomas Anderson you meet Thomas Anderson again, and he's working on a game called The Matrix. And he's been asked by his business partner, because the studio that has made the Matrix games, they want to make a fourth one. And the business partner literally says, as a line in this movie, our parent company Warner Brothers has asked us to make the Matrix 4. And they've said that whether we make it or not, it's going to be made. That is a line in this movie. So it's a little meta for itself.
So it's kind of funny because they probably didn't want to do a Matrix 4 because they were done with
the
it.
Wachowski sisters now used to be brothers. The Wachowski brothers made the first movies.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Never mind. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the Wachowski brothers made the first 3 Matrix movies.
Maybe they're better as girls. Hopefully.
But Lana Wachowski is the only one that made Matrix 4, if that tells you anything. Only one of them came back for the fourth one.
Well, first of all, if I'd have made the first 3 and made all that money, I wouldn't even be working.
Exactly. Well, they didn't. Like they made. I think they worked a little bit on Animatrix, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like they haven't really needed to do anything, and more power to them. Good for you.
I do love directors, producers, writers that hit that one big thing.
They're one and done.
Like The Sopranos.
Yeah. How about that?
Seinfeld.
How about that Sopranos prequel? By the way, did you see it? Kings of
the
East Side or whatever.
I didn't watch The Sopranos.
Oh, wait! Gunner Miller hasn't seen The Sopranos?
I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Hold
Say that
on.
again. I have. So The Sopranos was before my time,
100%. Yeah.
and I never had HBO growing up. Really, never. So by the time HBO became like a streaming thing, I didn't get like the Sopranos DVDs or anything,
Yeah.
so I just never really watched it.
Sopranos, when I worked at Walmart in electronics, it was always the Sopranos box set and the Friends box set.
Yeah. So now I've watched 2 seasons of it. They're like 40 to 60-minute episodes, so they're long to get through. So what I've seen, I love, because I love mafia stuff. So I didn't want to watch the other one, because I didn't want to watch the prequel, like you said before. Yeah. But I started watching it unaware that it was a Sopranos prequel.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like the whole selling point.
I didn't see the selling point. I just saw a mafia-looking movie on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Clicked it because it had Joey Diaz in it. So
entirely fair.
Yeah. So I clicked it and got through it, and I was like, Anthony Soprano. So I turned it off.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I got out of it. Yeah, it has a homeboy in it from Walking Dead that I love, and Joey Diaz.
Lowenthal?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Kind of jacked. He was in
Punisher.
Wolf of Wall Street. Punisher. Yeah. Anyways, so all right, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. But yeah, watch Matrix 4.
I'm going to watch Matrix 4 tonight.
I think you'll actually probably be able to get through it a little bit better than the first one.
I think I will too, because it's 2021.
Yeah, and it's Keanu Reeves now,
looking like John Wick. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he kept the look, because there's another John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick what, 4?
Yeah.
As well? Yeah. Did I tell you I finally sat down and watched all those movies like back to back to back to back?
Was that one of the best days of your life?
Yeah, it was.
You just saw literally 12,000 people get killed.
Yeah.
The 3 highest kill counts in movies back to back to back.
I also watched my favorite show on YouTube. It's called Kill Count. It's like horror movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he did John Wick, and he was just like, I knew this was going to be an undertaking. I just didn't understand how much of an undertaking.
Yeah, I think
and he does a kill count for the entirety of John Wick.
It literally is 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah.
It's the 1, 2, and 3 biggest kill counts in movies ever.
I believe so.
All 3 of those movies.
Yeah. Other than, obviously, apocalypse movies.
Yeah, but you don't actually see all those people killed.
Yeah, exactly. You see every death in John Wick.
And what I love...
God, just the original John Wick house scene.
They could have stopped at the very beginning of the movie with me.
Yeah. That first scene where the guys like enter the house and he just goes off. Good Lord. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's really just good. The shots through the walls. And he does like the thing where he like crouches down and is just like shooting people behind. Oh my God.
Have you seen Keanu do the actual gun course?
Oh yeah. I've seen that video hundreds of times.
He's legit.
It's crazy.
And he did that to do the movies. He's like, I'm not going to do the movies unless I know how to do it.
Yeah.
That dude's legit.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves is a national treasure.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I did.
Not national treasures in like
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is also a national treasure, but for obviously other reasons.
Just out of just random. National Treasure 1 is incredible.
Can we just appreciate
continue?
That?
Yeah, continue.
Yes. Okay. What I was going to say was I did recently watch with my little sister the Sonic movie. Not bad. It was serviceable for a movie for a person like me.
As an adult male who's seen that movie potentially 37 times. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a good...
Jim Carrey. I watch it for Jim Carrey.
Yes. My favorite line in that movie, well, there's 2, because one of them is, Keanu Reeves, oh my gosh, he's a national treasure. And then 2, I was thinking up formulas when you were still drinking formula. I was breastfed, actually. Thanks. Remind this orphan of what he's never had.
Jim Carrey crushed it.
I've heard a lot of people, since I've seen the movie, I was like, I'll start listening to the people I like listening to talk about their reviews. And one of them was literally like, Jim Carrey just plays 90s Jim Carrey again.
Yeah.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
He's eccentric. He's crazy. Makes no sense.
I don't need, this new woke Jim Carrey. I need Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And aren't they coming out with a new Ace Ventura but Jim's in it?
I don't know about that. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't need another Ace Ventura.
I think it would be a perfect time for one.
The only way that's a good idea is if it's just Jim Carrey doing Ace Ventura.
It's something
again.
about it's Jim Carrey's son or daughter.
Okay.
Is like
If
doing
it's
what,
somebody directly, like if Jim Carrey hands the mantle down himself personally.
yes, I think
then
that's
yes.
what the play was. But then it, like the build up is getting to Jim.
Okay.
And he's involved. Like
Okay.
that would it should be like Ace Ventura Returns. Like it should be something
Yeah.
like that. The Ace Ventura with the dolphins is that is childhood 101.
Is that the first one? Yes, it is the first one because the second one he goes international.
Well, what's the jungle one?
That's the second one.
Okay,
it has
that's
to be
the-
the second one.
yeah.
Because he just the arrows in the knees.
Yeah, that's a great.
God, yeah. I have been feeling just to get laughs again, just going back and watching like The Mask, Liar Liar, Ace Ventura 1 and 2, just like going back to old Jim Carrey and just being blissful. Bruce Almighty is one of my favorite movies ever.
Dude, 1996 to 2002, Jim Carrey was bomb.
Here's the thing, and maybe you agree, maybe you don't. 1996 as a year for movies, I have come to find out, was perfect.
Jurassic Park.
You have literally everything you think of as good movies from the 90s probably came out in 1996. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I'd have to see what the list is, but I'd say there's probably is there a Star Wars in there, a Jurassic Park?
I don't think there's any Star Wars, but
That's because, Star Wars took a break in the 90s and came back in
Independence Day, Mission Impossible,
2000s. The first one?
the first one, Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio one, Forrest Gump, Scream. There's a lot of movies, so I'm having to scroll through them. Matilda, classic kids movie. What's the True Lies? I believe came out in 1996.
Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. 1996 is like fascinatingly Jerry Maguire.
God, I love that movie. I love that movie.
You just look through all of these movies that came out in
You know, I didn't watch
1996.
that until last year. I went through
You didn't watch Jerry Maguire?
I'd always seen, like, show me the money. Always seen that scene.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's really
The
good.
dance scene is classic. Twister, 1996.
One of my favorite end of world, tragedy type movies.
Weather movies.
Yes. Dude, if they need to redo Twister, but they better not do it with stupid CGI. They better do it like
In our backyard? Because last night was bad.
yeah. Like, I want a real tornado on Captured. We've got enough footage now to where they can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Anyway, let's get out of here. If I keep looking, we'll just find something else to talk about.
I know.
We just need to
All
wrap this
right.
up.
So this is the last episode of 2021. It is sad, but it is also very bright on the other side. We got plenty to do. I'm going to also try to get my personal YouTube account up with some content, maybe like some more sales related, business related, freight related stuff. I'd like to kind of grab a niche, not just talk such about a wide variety of things, just a very niche market, something that I do every day, which is I sell and I do logistics and freight. So I'm going to start doing some stuff over there on that as well. We're building out my office right now currently, which is going to be my personal office, 500 square feet. About 200 square feet of it's going to be about my actual office, all open floor plan. But the other 300 square feet roughly is like my training / meeting area where I train my guys. So I'm gonna have Ethan come over and kind of help me set up what the best like webcam studio streaming type of area would be for me to put out the highest of quality of footage for the personal brand as well. And then if we ever need to do a webcam or we can't get out or whatever, we can do that too. So go to YouTube, subscribe. You can go over to Gunner Miller YouTube channel and subscribe as well. You can go to Spotify and listen to this, Apple Podcasts, listen to this. We probably need to get all those updated for the end of the year so we can start fresh. And then tomorrow, Happy New Year, not years. Happy New Year, everyone. 2022. For all you people that think that 2021 is gone and not coming back, listen, 2022 is just going to pick up where 2021 left off. There's going to be political issues. There's going to be pandemic issues. There's going to be the left and the right.
We have a midterm next year.
Yeah.
So just buckle in.
Yeah.
Like if anything was about last year.
Yeah. It's going to be wild. So here's my advice, and here's what I've been able to do for December for the most part. I just stopped paying attention to everything. I honestly did not know there was tornadoes last night until my parents told me, and we went to go eat with them. I was like, oh, that's dangerous. And then I just stopped paying attention to the news. The only thing that I listen to audiobooks. I don't listen to music. I just work out, hang out with Marcus and Tia. We do things. I pretty much focus all my attention right now on work, and that's about it. So I don't really keep up with anything. And if I do keep up with something, it's something I want to keep up with. And I'm doing this thing called a negative diet through Grant Cardone. And it's where you literally, so say you live, this is a quick 1 minute deal. Say, and I suggest you try it. Try to go 3 hours without interacting something negative, whether it is a person's comment, a social media post, a news article, a radio ad, anything, something negative. So when you do hear that, just eliminate it for that day. So now you're going to try to go 3 days without hearing that again. So where'd you hear it? Radio? Don't listen to the radio. So now the radio's cut off. Can't see it. Scroll on your Facebook, something negative, boom, can't touch my phone for 3 days. All right. You get a negative text message from somebody, can't talk to them. You get a phone call, you don't like the conversation, can't talk to them. So pretty much if you put your phone down and you don't watch anything, you don't listen to anything, and you can only control what you're actually reading, which might be like a personal development book or listen to a personal development podcast or any of those type of things, and you only surround yourself with positivity. Try to do it for 3 days. It's impossible, first of all. But see how long you can go? Dude, 5 hours of just strict positivity is good for the soul. I promise you that. And it's amazing how quick negative things pop up as soon as the day starts. If you just open your phone, the first notification I got is weather warning in Chattanooga. Like, I don't even want to see that. So if you just turn your notifications off, that's probably the first step. But other than that, it's just trying to stay away from everything. So that's my suggestion to you guys. Everybody wants to have these New Year's resolutions. I'm going to work out. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to do this, going to do that, make all this money. No, you're not. You're not going to do that stuff. You've been having the same resolutions for however old you are. So
I don't appreciate being called out like that, Gunner.
I'm just saying. I start them too, and they don't last. But what I've done over the years is I've realized that I do have certain habits. Some are good, some are bad. And obviously the good ones translate into good things, and the bad ones hold me back from reaching higher levels of success. So it's not that you need to add anything new. It's just you need to sit down, take inventory of your life, and figure out, what do I do? And then just write positive or negative beside it. And I want that to be like, if you just looked at your phone and took the last 20 conversations you had in the day, whether it's a week or whatever, just write their name. And I want you to write positive or negative. There is no maybe. If they're ever negative, they're negative. If they're only positive, they're positive. So if they're negative, get rid of them. And if you look at activities, if it's ever negative, get rid of it and only do the positive ones. So if you just have 5 positive things to do with your life, and that's what you do, and you only be positive. No, you're not going to do that forever, and it's unrealistic. But if you want a resolution, the resolution would be try to consider your life a cup of water. And if the cup of water is positivity, you would like the cup to be as full as possible, positivity. Because the more negativity, the water goes down, and then you don't just have a glass. And you don't want just a glass, you want a glass of water, the positivity. So, just put another marble down. Every little marble on the ground they take away is negative. It's not, one marble a day ain't gonna hurt you. But after 3 years, you ain't got no fucking marbles left. So don't let people take your positive marbles, all right? That's my little 2 cents for going into the 2022. Don't have a resolution. Just do some real shit, all right? Don't be making that fake shit up. Just do something you can actually do and do it. And then if you fail, guess what? Just do it again. Nobody cares. That's the biggest thing. I think people will start these resolutions and they go, I'm going to start this diet. No more carbs for me. And then they have one carb. And they're like, fuck it. Just start eating carbs again. No. Nobody cares you had a carb. You don't got to tell nobody either. You don't have to go to the gym, take a picture, put it on Facebook like, I went to the gym. You don't got to do all that. Just do shit for yourself. Look in the mirror. That's the guy you got to talk to or the girl you got to talk to or the whatever you got to talk to. And then that's the play. As long as you're happy, as long as you're making yourself better, as long as you feel good, positive, healthy, whatever, just do you. Do you, boo. All right? So that's me. 2022, I'm going to do me. Ethan's going to do him. We're going to try to do better, have a better year. 2021 was my best year in every possible way. Got engaged, financially good, family's good. Got my whole family still alive and together. Dog's still alive. Company's thriving. Got employees now. I can't complain about anything. All right, injury free, didn't get hurt, whatever. The only thing I can negatively hit myself with was in the fourth quarter. As far as like the gym with me, probably the worst quarter of a gym time, exercise time that I might have had in my life since I started working out. But also, other things went really well. So I just got to find balance in 2022. That's the hardest thing. This whole being a dad thing's rough. So you just got to find balance. But we'll make it work. Best of luck to you guys. Enjoy your 2022. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week, I guess. And then are we coming up on 100 soon? What time? When's that?
Probably within the next month or so.
So we'll have Tia on 100. She's locked in. She told me. And we'll bring Marcus in too. That way, she feels comfortable being on the show with another guest that's already been on the show. So, and he's actually like talking crazy now. So there's no telling what he'll talk about. But all right, you guys enjoy it. Happy New Year. We'll see you later. Go do all the things, and we'll catch you next week. All right. Bye.